Have you ever had one of those ideas? A dream, something that just burns inside you, but for some reason you just can't seem to get started? It's so frustrating, isn't it? It feels like the more you want it, the heavier it gets, and you just find yourself stuck. You're just watching the days go by, wondering if you're ever going to take that first step. Well, if any of that sounds familiar, you are in exactly the right place. In this explainer, we're going to tear down those mental walls that hold us back and give you the tools you need to finally get started. So let's just take a second here. Seriously, what is it for you? Is it that business you've been sketching out on napkins for years? That book you have inside you? Or maybe it's a personal goal you've shoved to the side for way too long. It could be anything, right? Learning to play the guitar, finally getting that degree, or even fixing a broken relationship. Whatever it is, I want you to get a really clear picture of it in your mind. Hold on to that feeling, because that dream, that's our North Star for this whole journey. Okay, now for the hard part. If the dream is so bright and so clear, what's really standing in the way? What's that little voice in the back of your head whispering? For most of us, it's this messy web of doubt and what ifs, and it's all tied together by one big, powerful, paralyzing emotion: fear. And today, we're not gonna run from it. We are gonna turn around, look it right in the eye, and figure out how to walk right through it. So here's our game plan, our roadmap to get you unstuck. First, we're gonna look at the battle raging inside all of us, the dream versus the doubt. Then we'll talk about why the idea of an impossible journey is a total myth. After that, we are confronting fear head on. Then we get into the good stuff, the action, taking that first step of faith. We'll learn how to tackle huge goals one bite at a time. And finally, we'll hammer home why the best time is now. All right, let's dive in. Everything, and I mean everything, starts right here, in the space between your ears. Your mind is this incredible battlefield where your greatest dreams are born. But unfortunately, it's also where most of those dreams go to die before they ever get a chance. This is where the real fight begins. And this, right here, this is that internal tug of war, isn't it? On one side, you've got this amazing, brilliant idea, your dream. And on the other, this instant flood of doubts. It's what I call future tripping. See, our brains don't just think about step 1. No, they leap all the way to step 50. We think, okay, I want to start a business. To do that, I'll need a loan. But my credit isn't great, so I'll probably get rejected, which means the whole thing is a failure, so why even bother starting? See what we do? We create this entire domino chain of failure in our heads before we've even designed a logo. So how in the world do we stop this self-sabotage? Well, the answer isn't about having some perfect bulletproof plan. It's about a massive shift in how you think, a totally different way of looking at what's actually impossible. It turns out we've been looking at the whole problem completely backwards. And this quote from Tony Robbins just hits the nail on the head. The only impossible journey is the one you never began. Let that sink in for a second. We're so obsessed with the fear of failing that we forget something much, much more important. If you don't start, failure is guaranteed. Think about it. If you start something and it doesn't work out, you learn something, you get experience, you grow. But if you never start, you get nothing, zero. The only 100% surefire way to never reach your goal is to never ever take that first step. So what's the magic cure for all that overthinking, all that analysis paralysis? It's just 2 simple words. Just start. Seriously, don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you have all the answers. Don't wait for the stars to align. They never will. The perfect time is a myth. It's an excuse our fear whispers to us to keep us safe and comfortable. You have to give yourself permission to start messy. Give yourself permission to be a total beginner again. Okay, I can hear you now. Just start? Come on, it's not that easy. And you know what? You're absolutely right. It's not. Because to start, we have to walk through the biggest, baddest gatekeeper of them all, fear itself. It's the one thing that keeps most of our dreams locked up tight. So let's pull back the curtain and see what it really is. I'm guessing some of these look pretty familiar, huh? The fear of failure, of losing our time or our money, that deep fear of the unknown, that nagging, sinking feeling that, what if it just doesn't work out? These what ifs can be totally paralyzing. And here's the crazy part. Your brain literally can't tell the difference between the fear of a tiger jumping out at you and the fear of your new business failing. It triggers the same panic response. And for procrastination, that's just our modern way of running away from the tiger. We think doing nothing is safe. But you know what they say? A ship is safe in the harbor, but that is not what ships are built for. So how do we fight back against these fears? Well, for anyone who finds strength in their faith, this verse from Isaiah is an incredibly powerful anchor. Do not fear, for I am with you. I will strengthen you. Surely I will help you. Just think about what that means. It's a total reframing of the problem. It suggests you don't have to carry this heavy weight all by yourself. It shifts the focus away from your own limitations and onto a source of strength that's bigger than you are. It's really about finding a belief that is stronger than your doubt. You know, there is so much power in knowing you're not the only one who's afraid. For the longest time, one of my biggest fears was just looking stupid in front of other people, and it kept me from trying so many things. So I want to ask you to do something really powerful. Pause for a second and go down to the comments. Share one fear that's held you back. Let's just be real about it and create a space where we can all lift each other up and move past these things together. Okay, so recognizing our fear is huge, but the goal isn't to get rid of fear completely. That's just not possible. The goal is to learn how to move forward with the fear. It's about taking that first step of faith, even when you have no idea where your foot is going to land. And when I say faith, it doesn't have to be religious. It can be faith in yourself or just faith in the process of trying. I just love this quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It is so perfect. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. We get so obsessed with needing to see the entire plan laid out in front of us. Every single step, every turn, all the way to the top. We basically demand a guarantee of success before we're willing to move. But life, especially when you're starting something new, just doesn't work that way. Real progress means trusting that when you take that first step, the next step will reveal itself. There's this beautiful idea in Psalm 119 that says, "Your word is a lamp to guide my feet and a light for my path." I want you to picture this. You're walking on a pitch black trail at night, and all you have is a tiny little lantern. That lantern doesn't light up the whole mountain, right? It just does two things. It lights up the ground right where you're standing so you don't trip, and it shines just far enough ahead for you to see where to take your very next step. That's it. That's all the light you get, and it's all the light you need. Stop worrying about what step 50 looks like. Just focus on the light you have for step 1. So, we've worked on the mindset. We've looked fear in the eye, and we've embraced taking that first step of faith. Now, let's get practical. How do you actually do this? How do you tackle a dream that feels as huge and intimidating as an elephant? This is where we shift from the why to the how.
It's an old saying, but man, is it true. When you stare at the whole elephant, it's just impossible. It's completely overwhelming. You have no idea where to even begin. But if you tell yourself, my only job right now is to take one single bite, suddenly it's doable. This is a powerful trick called chunking. Our brains are wired to handle small, clear tasks, not giant, vague goals. Your dream is the elephant. You can't swallow it whole. Your job is to figure out what's the first bite.
Here's another way to think about it, and I love this one. Life by the inch is a cinch. Life by the yard is hard. Trying to jump a whole yard is tough, maybe impossible. But moving just 1 inch, anybody can do that. That 1 inch, that's your one bite. What's the tiny, manageable step you can take right now? Because what happens is 1 inch becomes 2, 2 inches become 4, and you start building this incredible momentum that becomes almost unstoppable. The trick is to make it so simple, it's almost silly not to do it. Take that massive dream of yours and ask, what is the absolute smallest, easiest, most concrete thing I can do right now? You don't know how to get funding for your business? Okay, fine. But can you go online and design a free business card? You want to write a novel? Forget the novel. Can you just open a document and write one good sentence? Want to get in shape? Just put on your workout clothes. That's it. Just do the little part that you can do, right here, right now. That tiny action is what creates momentum. And that brings us to our last and honestly our most important point. We've talked about the why and the how, but none of that matters without the when. And this is the trap that catches so many of us, this lie we tell ourselves that we're waiting for the right time. Let's just blow that myth up once and for all. This old proverb is just packed with so much wisdom. We love to look back and beat ourselves up, don't we? If only I'd started this 10 years ago, I'd be so far along by now. And yeah, sure, the absolute best time to plant that tree was 20 years ago, but you can't go back in time. Wasting today wishing you'd started yesterday is just another form of procrastination. The most powerful part of that saying is the second half. The second best time is always, always right now. And this quote is the logical reason why starting now is so important. Think about it. If you start and you mess up or you take a wrong turn, what do you have? You have information, you have data. You can adjust your course. You can correct something. But if you do nothing, you have nothing. You can't fix nothing. You can't improve nothing. An imperfect start is 1,000,000 times more valuable than a perfect plan that never leaves your notebook. And so we land right here at the end of our time together, and it all comes down to this one question. Not what you'll start tomorrow, not next month, not when things calm down, because they never do. Based on everything we've just talked about, what is one small bite, one single step, one tiny inch of progress you are going to make today?
If this video sparks something in you today, please take another small step and hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Be Thankful. And if you know someone else who's feeling stuck, who needs to hear this, do them a favor and share this video with them. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless.